Okay, so once you've got all of your electrical lines installed and just kind of hanging out in your central electrical box, at this point you can start making sure and putting all your connections together. Now, before you start making any of those connections, you want to make sure that you've got your kill switches in open position so that the two sides of the kill switch are not actually connected. This will make sure that you're staying safe while you're wiring everything up. The battery as well, you don't want anything connected to the battery. This is kind of one of the last steps, is making those final connections. So we'll come back to that later. So you don't want anything really connected in here. You can start kind of making your connections, but make sure your kill switches are open so that things are wired together, but they're not actually physically connected. So you've got your two lines coming from the solar panel here. The hot line, the kill switch, is just like a regular on-off switch. You cut the hot line and interrupt it. Now this has a 50 amp fuse built in. That's why it's a 50 amp kill switch, and so I can pop it open anytime I need to work on the system. So make sure that's in the open position. Cut that hot line. As you can see, it then goes into the positive port for the panel pins on the charge controller. This is a 30 amp PWM, that's pulse width modulation charge controller, and the 30 amps can actually handle up to 400 watts of solar panels, which is plenty for me. I only have 300 up top, and it gives me the ability to add another 100 watt panel if I need. And now here on the right, you've got the connections going to the batteries. Now the lines from the that were included with the solar panels are all black, so I made sure to specifically label my positive lines red so that I can keep them clear. And now again, nothing is connected to the battery, but I've got these connected up to the charge controller, and then the connections are just waiting here when I am ready to finally make those connections to the battery. So now we're going to go ahead and talk about the making your 12 volt connections.